Hey there, mystery lovers. Before we get into tonight's terrifying tale, I have a small request. Over 80% of you listening haven't hit that subscribe button yet. I know, you're just here for the chills. But if you enjoy spooky stories as much as I love telling them, consider subscribing. It really helps us bring you more horror from the shadows. Now, imagine this. You're alone in a remote hotel room tucked deep in the icy silence of Ladakh. Outside, the mountains sleep under layers of snow. Inside, you're wide awake, haunted by a face you once loved, and now fear more than death itself. This isn't fiction. It's the twisted true tale of a man who ran from his past, only to find it waiting for him with a vengeance. Tonight's story is one of love gone wrong, obsession from beyond the grave, and a descent into madness so dark, it leaves you wondering, was he really insane, or was she really back? Let's begin. Ladakh, known for its peace and spiritual silence, became the backdrop for one of the most baffling and terrifying cases local police ever encountered. A hotel receptionist phoned the authorities early one snowy morning. A guest hadn't checked out. When staff entered the room, they found a man, dead, eyes wide open, mouth frozen mid-scream, neck bruised as though clutched by unseen hands. His name was Ravi, 28 years old, checked in under a fake name, had barely left his room. What made this case even stranger was a note left behind, written in desperation, scribbled fast. Attached was a photo of a woman, smiling, beautiful, harmless looking. Her name? Riya. And according to Ravi's letter, she had destroyed his life. But here's the twist. Riya had been dead for years. Let's rewind. Ravi was your average college guy, ambitious, charming, a little too smart for his own good. That's how he met Riya, a bright student from his university. She helped him with assignments, even ghost wrote some of his exams. Ravi was smooth, but Riya was smitten. What started as a whirlwind romance turned bitter when Ravi cheated on her. Not once, multiple times. When Riya found out, she ended it. And then, like a switch flipped, her world crumbled. She stopped eating, quit socializing, slipped into a deep, dangerous depression. 2 months later, she was gone. And that's when Ravi's torment began. Ravi returned to Delhi and tried to move on. But life had other plans. One morning, his car brakes failed, crashed on a highway, woke up in a hospital with a fractured arm and concussion. But that wasn't the worst part. Before losing consciousness, he swore he saw Riya, standing beside the wreck, looking down at him with cold, glassy eyes. He tried to brush it off. Trauma, maybe, guilt. But things only got weirder. Windows shattered in the middle of the night. Stones hurled at his house. Footsteps outside his room when no one was there. He started seeing her. Not just randomly, but always after something terrible happened. One weekend, Ravi was at his girlfriend Nisha's apartment. They were trying to rebuild his life together, to leave the past behind. As they stood on the balcony, the doorbell rang. Ravi went to answer it. No one was there. He turned around, then heard a scream. He rushed back outside and found Nisha's body. For floors below, lifeless, blood spreading like ink on concrete. Beside her stood a woman, staring straight up at him. It was Riya. When he ran downstairs, she was gone. 2 days later, his parents died in a house fire. Investigators never found the cause. But Ravi, he was convinced. He said she was back, and she wanted everything he ever loved. Ravi told the police everything. The sightings, the deaths, the nightmares. They called him delusional. They said grief had unhinged him. Eventually, a court-ordered psychiatrist declared him mentally unstable. He was sent to a facility, but even there, he said she followed him, left rats in his room, whispered in the vents, appeared in reflections where mirrors had no place. One night, he escaped, vanished without a trace, until he turned up dead in that Ladakh hotel. Police read his letter and found one chilling line: "If I die, it's because of her." But forensic reports said otherwise. Ravi had no defensive wounds, no sign of struggle. The room was locked from the inside. And most shocking, He appeared to have strangled himself. How does one choke themselves to death? The CCTV? No sign of any woman entering or leaving. They contacted Riya's family and learned the horrifying truth. Riya had died 5 years earlier. The same month Ravi's life began to fall apart. We often demonize ghosts, but sometimes the living are the monsters. Riya's best friend told investigators everything. How Ravi used her. How he manipulated her love to get good grades. How, after catching him cheating, Riya still blamed herself. She deteriorated quickly. No one helped her, not even Ravi. And that guilt, some believe, became his curse. Let's talk psychology for a moment. Cases like Ravi's aren't unique. There are dozens of documented examples where guilt manifests as hallucinations. The human brain, when burdened by unresolved trauma, can break its own reality. But what if there's more? In Japanese folklore, onryo are vengeful spirits of wronged women, said to cause death, illness, even war. Riya's story mirrors that mythology disturbingly well. Coincidence? Maybe. But ask yourself, how did Ravi predict all those deaths in his letter? How did he describe Riya's final moments so precisely, if he wasn't haunted by her? To this day, no one knows how Ravi died. The case is closed, but unanswered. The hotel still gets calls from room 203. Staff say they hear crying, whispering, sometimes a woman's voice saying one name over and over, Ravi. Love can heal, but it can also haunt. Let Riya's story be a reminder. Kindness matters. How we treat people echoes far beyond the moment, sometimes even beyond the grave. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or feeling overwhelmed, reach out. Ghosts don't always wear white sheets. Sometimes they live inside us. Thanks for listening. And remember, the dead may rest, but the wronged, they remember.